Guys, we are back, jumping into the final game of the day. Ratpack versus Carbon EU. We
Sick.
just saw Confusion
Sick.
versus Oxygen NA. Oxygen NA does take it in the end. That unorthodox
They
draft
took it in
coming
the
out of
end, man. They took
Confusion.
it in the end.
They took it in the end. That unorthodox draft coming out of Confusion. Interesting to see, but the veteran team of Oxygen NA was able to pull it out in the end. But we're jumping in, Shane. Ratpack versus Carbon
This is
EU.
gonna be good. This is gonna be good, man.
We saw early game Ratpack kind of stumble in their first game, but then they turned it around. They were able to regroup and they took that game in the end. Carbon EU, man, one of the best teams in competitive gameplay right now. Is Ratpack going to be able to win?
If this is on North American servers, yes, and that's why. If this was on EU, I would give it to Carbon EU. The fact of the matter is that there is significant ping discrepancies between each region, and at this level of play, oh dear lord,
You broke it.
no, my game is. Look what my game's doing. What is that? Oh gosh, we'll fix it here in a second. We'll load back into that game. You'll see on the stream here in just a bit. It's some weird visual graphics bug going on. Yeah, because at this high level of play, that latency is much more significant because of just the timings of things need to be on point. Just a quarter of a second of an ability not landing because there was a quarter of a second lag can be the difference between winning a team fight and losing a team fight. So that's the only reason why I'm going to say this. I think these teams are incredibly even matched, but I think Ratpack's going to take it.
Well, you know what? I'm at 5 seconds in the game, and I know you have to reload because whatever the hell just happened.
Did you see that? Did you see what that was? I was like, what in the world?
I did. Unfortunately, guys, the draft tool we use, it's being a silly finicky program. So we're not gonna be able to use that this time, but we're gonna jump in and talk about the drafts in this particular game. Shane, and EU teams have been using a lot of Grux. Do you think we're gonna see Grux again?
It's Carbon EU, so yes. It's Blood Mortius, so yes. If it was another EU team, I'd be like, maybe. But it's Blood Mortius. I know how he favors that hero. I think he plays the best Grux around right now, simply because he's really the only person who plays it. So, I mean, he kind of win by default. But I think, not to take away from him, I think that of the few times we have seen Grux, he makes that hero look really, really, really good. I think it is a good hero. I don't think that hero in the current meta is as strong as Rampage or Steel. I think he's under that, but Blood Mortius makes a strong case for that hero being picked a little bit more often by other teams.
So Blood Mortius best Grux because only Grux.
Not only Grux, but of like the three people who play him, he's the best of those people, without a doubt. Without a doubt, man. Let me just do some production stuff. We'll get to this game in just a moment. Let's see here, and that is.
You just got called out, Shane. Be Certified apparently plays the best Grux. So what are you talking about?
Be Certified, find a team, and we'll see if that's the case, my man.
Hello, Noodle.
Be Certified, I miss you, man. I'm at 5 seconds. I'm gonna hit the button on OBS that makes you guys be able to see the video game. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the winners match of Group B between Ratpack and Carbon EU. Whoever wins this for sure moves on to day number 2 into the semifinals. Let's introduce these teams. We do have Bum on Severog, Involve on Gadget, Louis on the Rampage, Strafe Dash on Twin Blast, and Crown on Greystone once again.
Rusterus on Kwong. Yo, I'm Mikey on Howitzer. Blood Mortius on Grux. Undead Pilot on Murdoch. And Shadon playing Decker. The Diggity Decker, man.
The Diggity Decker,
so,
man.
I don't know. I'm assuming, looking at this draft, I'm assuming we have Steel bands.
Steel and
who? Let's pretend it was Iggy and Scorch. Steel and Iggy and Scorch are bands.
I don't know, because Rampage is here. No, Howitzer's here. Decker's here. Severog's here. Nernder!
It was Iggy and Scorch. I'm calling it.
I have no idea. It wasn't Murdoch.
Doesn't know Murdoch.
Well, Narender will tell us in chat, I'm sure. Narender the God will tell us in
It
chat.
can't be Sevarog because Sevarog's in the game, guys.
All the top, all like the like tier 1 heroes in competitive are all picked right now. So,
thank you, Fairless. Steel and Muriel.
Steel and Muriel. Interesting. Interesting. Mid lane, again, a North American team is doing an EU strat of putting their support and carry in the mid lane and allowing what we would traditionally see their mid laner go to the off lane, or rather over to the safe lane. That's going to be involved on Gadget. Crown in this Greystone. He made Greystone look really, really good in a situation where I think a lot of people don't think Greystone is necessarily the best offlaner in the game right now, right? But the big thing about Greystone is pre-level 5, he gets bullied so easily. Once he gets that ultimate, that secondary life, he can play with reckless abandon. Blood Mortius caught out, subjugate there, damage coming in here. And there's your first blood, going over to the carry. So Blood Mortius gets caught out by this bum subjugate, bum Sevarog. And about 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the game, the carry for Ratpack gets a big boost to card experience.
A big boost to card experience. Blood Mortius being aggressive. Was he warding? Why was he there? Blood Mortius, what were you doing? I'll ask him after the game. Because he doesn't have wards. We did see, again, dummy wards, thoroughly wards instantly. I really like this play that we're seeing with wards. You run out, you put those in lane, it gives you a couple minutes of safety with those shadow wards, allows you to farm, allows you to be aggressive, and then back off. 3 minutes, we have a black buff spawning right now. Strafe is already here to pick it up. Black buff on your ranger early game is so incredibly strong.
He wants to get that extra damage to towers. Wait.
Yeah, that's what it is. Extra damage to these heroes here.
He has to be in travel mode first.
Right. What game are we playing? Are we watching the same game? The extra damage to minions and to the heroes is super strong if he decides to get aggressive here. If a boulder lands, it's all but a guaranteed kill with that black buff on Strafe. Yo and Mikey playing smart, playing under that tower, waiting for them to come to him. Possibly look for a mine back into the tower and an R2000. We'll see. Boulder's queued up by Louis. Is he going to be able to land it? Yo and Mikey's just backing off here, playing smart.
So we pointed out Twin Blast and Rampage in the mid lane. That's sort of their, I guess you can call that their safe lane for now, but let's talk about the other 1v1 matchups going on right here, specifically of Gadget versus Kwong, Rustress versus Involved. I feel like Gadget could really bully this Kwong around. I mean, Gadget's a lane bully to begin with, but against a melee hero, I think that Involve could really just almost be as much of a nuisance as a traditional 1v2 lane is with Kwong. So I think that's a really good lane matchup. And of course, on the other side of the field, we actually see Louis has rotated off to protect Crown. Pre-level 5, Greystone gets bullied. That is the case here, but once Crown hits that level 5, I expect him to see more aggressive and start to secure a little bit of farm as well. Another thing I really like about, and you pointed this out before, Notch, but I think it bears repeating, about the putting your support and your carry in the mid lane, is it allows your support to roam more efficiently. He doesn't have to traverse the entire map. He can go to either lane. He is much more of a flex hero in the early stages of the game, especially when it's a Rampage who's known for his early game potential because of his CC on the boulder.
Yeah, and depending on how he rotates, it also gives Strafe a free farm. It gives him level 5 quicker to make sure he's picking up those last hits. But he can rotate quickly as well.
Oh, Bum's got to be careful. He is going to be going down there. I thought for sure he was going to pick up a kill on the shed on Stecker, but not the case. Louis is going to rotate, but he's going to be able to jump up across that high ground near the gold buff. So a little bit of over-aggression and good protection coming out from Carbon EU here. And that's going to be the first kill picked up for them. Bum going down.
Bum going down to a stasis bomb to the face. But yeah, this mid lane just allows for really quick rotations. I believe it's 17 seconds from mid lane to either of the off lanes, which is very fast. But it also denies control of river buffs to Yo and Mikey. Yeah. And it keeps him pushed back to his tower. And you have Howitzer who, if he rotates landmine into a Make It Rain, landmine into an R2000, landmine into a slow, it really allows for good potential of helping secure kills on the outside lanes. But they're keeping him pushed back to his tower, so he's not able to do that as effectively. So it's keeping a hero locked down at the mid lane that you normally wouldn't see locked down because of the aggressiveness coming out of Strafe. And and Louis. So I actually really like this mid lane setup. I think it's very effective. A lot more potential to this team here, and we've seen these guys do it. And Ratpack did it well, and so it's very interesting to see how this will play out and if this becomes the new norm in competitive play.
I think it just depends.
And everybody's saying, haha, Epic, you can't force a 2v1 lane. Because that's what it's about, isn't it?
It just wasn't in the lane they thought. It's in mid, not in one of the lateral
right.
lanes.
You get this safe lane nonsense out of here. I'm taking the mid.
Remember when we played on Monolith early on, and well, I don't know if we won't talk about that. Anyways, it's a different time. It's a different map. We digress. I think another big factor going into putting the 1v2 mid lane is about the off lane matchups as well. It's like, oh hey, we can have Gadget versus a Kwong, like, or we could have like just some really one-sided matchup that otherwise maybe wouldn't be as favorable for one side, like a Gadget versus Gideon or something like that. That can be fairly even. They both have long range harass, and they both have mobility to get away from poor positioning. Mid lane, Louis in there. He's level 4. Before we saw Choppa on the Rampage when we casted Empyrean, really under leveled, didn't hit level 5 until I think, what was it, like 13, almost 15 minutes into the game.
It was almost 50 minutes into the game.
Yeah, Louis doing a much better job, level 4 at 7 minutes into the game, so he's having a little bit better level progression. Challenge of the Warlord is popped there by, or clapped rather, by Blood Mortius, but Bum's going to be able to get away right there. I think that was going on the defensive one, make sure he's able to get away. And a 3-man rotation into the jungle, what Ratpack is doing, and now they find themselves quickly having to retreat, because Blood Mortius is going to go in there, smash the crap into Louis. He's not level 5, big burst damage, double pain, and he does jump up into the high ground. He has a bleed on him, but I don't think it's going to be enough unless Joe and Mikey, not enough mana for an R2000 rocket. We talked about how much mana that R2000 rocket costs. It actually costs more than his ultimate. His ultimate's 100 mana, R2000 rocket 145, so an aggressive invasion, they came up short, and they got away from what looked like a very bad situation. Crown, we did hear that ultimate being popped. This is going to be close. Move along is there. Does he have Storm the Gates? He doesn't. He doesn't have Storming Gates. He doesn't have the mana for it. Both of these guys looking for the kill and blow. Not going to be the case. If Storm the Gates was online right there, Crown would have picked up a kill. Undead Pilot's got to be counting his blessings right there.
Yeah, Go ultimate not returning mana. Thank you, Epic, for that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
That fix. Because that's all it takes there. If it was the old buff, or if it was the old ultimate, he actually would have got about 25% mana back, and he would have been able to jump in there. But they changed that. But Undead Pilot,
oh, so you're telling me that a balance change happened recently?
Yeah.
And then there was another balance change after that, right? We're
Stop it!
Right? I'm just saying, there's been balance changes. I'm just pointing out that balance changes have happened, several of them.
Stop it. Undead Pilot able to almost 1v1 at Crown, take him out of his ultimate.
Oh, sit on some very low, man. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Notch, but damn, there's some action going down. They hit all the buttons. Boulder and is subjugated to Tesla Dome. And 4 people in the mid lane, they get a kill on to Decker. Notch, back to you, my man.
So, I forgot what I was talking about because this tier 1 tower is going to fall here. No, I was going to say, it's a very long cooldown for Crown. He doesn't have it online. This allows him to be a little bit more aggressive in that lane if they wanted to.
Oh, Blood Mortius. Oh. He gets taken out as well. That boulder, Louis is landing him with just such deadly accuracy right there. 2 in a row, 2 kills. They don't get the tower, but they're still going to be happy about that exchange nonetheless.
Yeah, they're going to pick up the 2 kills. We're seeing the strength of stuns there. 2-second boulder at level 1. Blood Mortius thought he was going to be all right. He got hit with a boulder. He got hit with a sticky bomb. He got hit with a slow, and he got deleted. Is what happened.
Yeah.
Yo and Mikey using the Make It Rain to protect that tower. I believe have we seen any tier 1 towers fall yet?
One just fell. Kwong, being played by Rustress, was able to push that down while that mid fight was happening. So. They gave up 2 kills, but they were able to take down the safe lane tower, so they were able to get something out of that.
Which is good because tier 1 towers protect the core, and you need to kill those to win the game.
Really?
So that's a thing. Yeah. I don't know if you guys are aware of it.
Oh, that's right. I'm not playing Overwatch. I forgot.
Right. There are objectives here. Another tower is going to fall. Cameron, or Crown does not have his buff online yet. They can get aggressive if they want. He is going to storm the gates and get going under that tower. Undead Pilot says, I don't care tower damage.
What tower damage? So going back to the mid lane here, this tier 1 tower, the secondary push here, they weren't able to get the first time, but unable to get the second Restorus, came out from the ball ball. Tether did not land. Boulder on the Blood Mortius. Smasher grabbed the stick, subjugate on the Blood Mortius. Enraged is there. Lots of help. Knock up Mind to peel for Blood Mortius. Get him away. Beautiful play. That actually was, even though no one died right there, both teams had coordinated peel right there. We're seeing what level of play that these two teams are capable of. A lot of stuff happened very quickly there, but if any one of those things didn't happen, that would have been a kill on either side. So these guys are just playing at top-notch levels here.
I really like that knock-up mine from Yoa and Mikey, the team to Blood Mortius to escape there. So, like Shane said, really good play, very heads-up play. That knock-up mine was used perfectly. Blood Mortius is going to get out, which is important because they killed him twice already. So currently we've got Strafe with 2 kills, sitting at 15 card power. Undead Pilot doing a great job farming. He's also sitting at 15 card power. He's gone a little bit of a different route here. He's picked up 3 micro nukes instead of going with your patented 3 Madstone Gems build. He's picked up that early game crit. He's picked up that early game damage. Is that to deal with Crown on Greystone and deal with the Stoic, the E ability of Greystone? Just that extra damage to get through that health and armor.
Or the circle for you PlayStation players out there. Look at Crown just not caring about anything. That's Greystone, man. He don't care. You asked me a question, I forgot what it was. Let's talk about this build on Undead Pilot. That's what it was. It was about Undead Pilot's build.
Yes.
He did this before when we casted him at the very start of the day for the qualifier match here. He went with his triple. He actually went with quad micro nuke, all with 6 points, with two minor powers and then a minor wound. Each one giving him 8% crit, 8 times 4 is 32, so he gets that 32% crit, and then he goes into his crit bonus item, and then upgrades his micro nuke. So it is a departure from what we normally see on the Fury carries, Twin Blast, and Murdoch. But I actually like it a little bit more than the Madstone Gem build. I think it gives
a better power curve.
Yeah, I think it gives you a better power curve. I agree. You have that. I mean, 32%. That's that's really good likelihood that in a series of team fights you're going to get, maybe depending on how it goes and how much RNG likes you, a series of crits off. Louis in trouble, long arm of the law. I'm not sure if it connected, but he was able to get away right there. Very, very low stasis bomb hits. Doesn't have in range. It is on cooldown, and he actually is going to get taken up. Good cleanup right there. Shadon was able to pick up the kill, but all the meanwhile, Kwong was taken out somewhere else on the field. I'm not seeing who picked up that kill right now.
Underneath the tower, Strafe did.
Wow, Strafe 1v1'd him underneath the tower. And on the other side of the field, Bum and Crown pick up a kill onto the carry. That is momentous for Ratpack. Their carry just got a 1v1 kill, and they also conversely took down the carry of their opponent. So beautifully done. Ratpack putting themselves in a good situation. 14 minutes. Let's start elaborating a little bit more on the builds here, Notch. Talk about Kwong's build. We're seeing a card we don't see picked up on him very often.
We're talking Bane Flesh. Bane Flesh here, crit chance, health. It'll be interesting to see if he builds anything into it, or it's purely to just counter Louis' rampage.
I think that's
It applies a poison that basically shuts down 75% health regen from Louis' ultimate, and it also shuts down passive life regen. So if you have lifesteal and whatnot, it also can help there as well. But it's I don't know if he's going to build anything into it. He could go with the crit chance, but I think if he maybe a card that he puts health in or sells later on just to deal with Louis early game. But we're starting to see, Shane, a slight advantage for the side of Ratpack now, and this is where, as we start rotating into the late game, with Strafe doing such a good job. He's 3-0-1. He picked up the tower kill. He picked up a kill under the tower. He's starting to build into his crit now. Yes, he's a little bit behind when you compare that to Undead Pilot's crit, but he's been playing really, really well. He hasn't really been relying on farm, like we see some of the other Rangers do that we've been casting for a long time. He's actually more aggressive. Like I'll compare him to Suki aggressive. Because he's rotating all over the map. He's trying to pick up those kills, and he doesn't wait till that late game and of certain card power. He's being more aggressive, which I really like to see out of carries. And they're picking on right now. Crown is going to have to back up underneath this tier 2 tower, but I really like the gameplay coming out of Strafe. He's done a really good job, and Ratpack's playing much better this game than they did in the first game we saw them.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, of course, they really kicked it online a little bit later, but Crown's got to be careful just because, well, he has his ultimate line. Who am I talking about? He doesn't have to be careful. We do see Bum being aggressive onto Rustress. A little bit of miscommunication there. The Colossal Blow actually knocks Rustress out of the Tesla Dome, and Rustress uses the Fury of the Heavens to teleport away to his sword and actually gets away. If that miscommunication didn't occur and the Colossal Blow didn't knock him out of the Tesla Dome, he more than likely would have gone down. So Rustress is going to be thanking Bum on Sever right there for essentially securing his getaway.
So as we rotate into mid game here, Shane, we're 17 minutes into the game. Raptors have not been touched by anybody yet.
Yep.
I expect that to happen soon.
I agree.
Especially coming from the side of Carbon EU. But as of right now, looking at the map and looking at the card power, we do see a little bit of an advantage for Ratpack, but Carbon EU is not out yet. Once we start seeing them combo the Yoan Mikey, Make It Rain, and Shadon's containment fence, these fights can go a much different way.
Absolutely.
They don't have the frontline and engage that Ratpack has, but I think they have the better combo potential. And once they come online and get that card power they need, these fights could change, and Carbon could just start running away with these engagements.
Blood Mortis has a purple buff. Initially looking for Crown, but I think he was like, that's a gray stone. Let's not waste our time. Going into mid lane, but Twin Blast is protected by his support of Louis. They actually have two purple. Look, Blood Mortis and Yoan Mikey have it. I don't know if they're aware of it. They probably saw the purple, double purple on the map. You can actually see, guys, for those of you that don't know, that before, when they spawn, regardless of whether or not you have vision, you can see which buff is spawning at the location. And when it goes from the corresponding color to white, that means someone has taken it. So they probably saw the double purple, and they saw both of them went to white, and I'm sure in comms have guys, they got double purple, let's get underneath our towers. Crown getting aggressive on the Furious Force, actually forces out the containment fence as well, but Louis is there to jump up there, get the kill. Containment fence used, and that's a really long cooldown at level 1. Very, very long cooldown on that ability at level 1 there. Subjugate lands on Blood Mortis, into the boulder. Bum goes forward, and down he goes, the Ventilate. Secured the kill. Well, Subjugate secured the kill, but the Ventilate was the damage they needed to get that kill right there. 2 go down, and they're going to be sieging down this tier 1 safe lane tower here. I'd imagine they're able to get it, especially because Undead Pilot is having to retreat. But all the meanwhile, a little bit of split pressure. Yo and Mikey pushing mid, and Rustress pushing left.
They don't have the minion wave to take this down here. They didn't clear the minion wave. Crown did it before he backed. They are going to be able to push it because of death timers, but I think they wasted a little bit of time. They wasted about 7 to 8 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot.
On Monolith, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's 7 to 8 seconds where that tower could have been killed, and then they could rotate off into the enemy jungle a little bit safer. Undead Pilot was a little bit overextended. I think if Bum would have landed that Subjugate, it would have been a kill on Undead Pilot. But he did get back to the safety of his tower. So that was 7 or 8 seconds that they could have done something else. Farmed the enemy jungle, taken the Amber Link, picked up the green buff from them. And unfortunately, they weren't able to do that because they didn't clear up that minion wave. But, Shane.
Hello.
Right now we're seeing really solid gameplay out of Strafe. I think Undead Pilot, yes, he's farming effectively, but he hasn't been... I'm going to sneeze. Shit, I couldn't hit my mute button. Apologize in everybody's ears.
No, it wasn't that bad. Man, we're not on your channel anymore, so we can't say... You know what? I'm going to have to put the chair command back in chat. Now that we're not doing the broadcast on your channel anymore, we can't... Ah, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. For those of you newcomers to Paragon, the chair was a wonderful moment in another Notch's streaming history that we'll talk about on the after show here. But right now, we have a great game in front of us. So, what's the point you were trying to make prior to your knees?
We haven't seen many long arm of the laws come out to help pick up kills. There just hasn't been an opportunity. Yeah. When we saw Undead Pilot before, he was at like 6 and 3, I think, and he just wasn't missing long arm of the laws. But we haven't seen that yet. He's 0-1-1 right now. Yes, he's at 27 card power and keeping up with Strafe, but he could be much higher if he was utilizing that long landing those.
Carbon EU knows about it. I love what Louis doing here. Pops in rage, uses the boulder to try to create some space. They get a Raptor. They get a single Raptor, 1 card level boosted over to their carry. Just taking a look at the numbers, it's pretty much, up until then, was even 29 to 28. And oh my, involved in a lot of trouble. He gets taken out. He pops the Tesla Dome into panic mode, but Giving up your gadgets for, if they got all 3 Raptors, I would say that's a good exchange, but they only were able to get 1. And if Carbon EU are able to capitalize on this opportunity presented in front of them, I think they really could start building momentum that really has eluded them. And this is what they need to do. Rotate the Raptors, and they're going to be able to pick up. I'd imagine they're going to be able to pick up both of these for Undead.
Yeah, easily. There's going to be no rotation or slow rotation. Undead Pilot's going to pick. He's going to be sitting at 29 card power after that. We've got 4 micro nukes on Undead Pilot.
Yep.
He's got 5 points to spend. He's going to pick up his Impact Hammer.
There it is.
And he maxed out his last micro nuke. So next card after he maxed out micro nuke.
Round goes down, but all from the breach comes Bum, and he actually knocks away Howitzer. Containment fences there. Crown's gonna try to get away. Storm the gates. He's gonna try to get away. Yo and Mikey doesn't have enough mana for a R2000 Rocket. Stasis Bomb is not gonna connect. They're chasing down Crown, but all the meanwhile, Yo and Mikey, or I'm sorry, Louis is taking out Yo and Mikey. Mid laner for an off laner. Bum's in the thick of it, and it looks like, unfortunately, he's going to need some protection. Subjugate misses. Strafe is there, doing some damage, popping off as best he can to try to zone, to try to peel, to try to protect. That's not what you want. Tether hits Louis, almost hits him. They go in immediately, and Rage is on board. He has that regen, and he's not going to hit the Bane Flesh. The Bane Flesh is going to take away his regen. The fight continues. A lot of back and forth. Initiates, counter-initiates, but ultimately, 1-for-1 exchange that could have gone either way. That's, again, a testament to how evenly matched these two teams are right now, Joshua.
Yeah, I mean, we're just really good engagements coming out of both teams. A 1-for-1 exchangement. Bum with that subjugate into the colossal blow was able to help keep his team survive. Help keep people alive.
Keep his team survive.
Is what he did. Louis actually got the kill onto Yo and Mikey with his boulder as Yo and Mikey was falling out of his ultimate. So he was able to pick up that kill there. But card power is even. We've seen Carbon EU. Again, they are a amazing team. I don't want to take anything away from Ratpack and their gameplay, but Carbon EU really does well under pressure. We've seen them in this before where they've been down and then they take one engagement and they turn the entire thing around. And I think that's what we could see from these guys is one solid engagement and Carbon EU gets the power and the advantage that they need, or the momentum they need, and then they just steamroll from here on out. So that's what I'm waiting for from these guys. It's just that one engagement and them to come online. Because as of this moment, this is still anybody's game.
Pull an Oxygen in A where you're losing for the first 30 minutes, and then you just win.
Right.
And then you just win. Louis pops the ultimate, jumps onto Rustress. As long as he lands this boulder, this should be a dead Kwong. He is going to get taken out 66 seconds, but Bum is in equally as bad a situation. Blood Mortius has the purple buff, electing not to reveal himself quite yet. Instead, realizing it's not a good situation as Involve has rotated. Smash and grab onto Gadget to the Warlord's challenge. Involve is looking away. Tesla don't pop more of a zoning tool than anything else. Undead Pilot, does he have the long arm of the law? I'm not sure, but Blood Mortius is sitting there making it rain. He's going to get the damage to take out Sevarog, but Blood Mortius gets taken out as well. 1-for-1 in this team fight so far, but Strafe gets taken out. Undead Pilot comes in there with an auto attack and a buckshot to the face. Beautiful knock-up right there on the Crown. Even if he does have his resurrection, if he does have that ultimate, he's got to be careful because they can certainly kill him right after the fact. Boulder hits Undead Pilot, but unfortunately, a little bit too late there. Yo, Mikey's got to be careful. He does. Oh no, he gets taken out. Louis flanks. Here comes Involve. They thought Involve wasn't in the fight anymore. They're looking to turn this around. Over to Undead Pilot. He's isolated. He needs to hit those autos. He does hit the autos before he goes down, so he does get the kill. But that right there was essentially a 3-for-4. So that was a very back and forth engagement. Once again, Notch. I have to say, even though Carbon EU lost more in that fight, Undead Pilot was more involved. He got kills. He got card experience. Strafe was dead before that fight even occurred. So I'd imagine that actually in the long term benefited Carbon EU a little bit more, assuming they don't lose a lot of ground on the map.
Which they've actually done a really good job of keeping the lanes. The minion management game, which we haven't really been following, they've done a really good job keeping these in their favor, or at least not letting them overextend and overpush too hard against them. We're seeing rotations coming off from both sides there. So we are seeing that 3v4 exchange. Undead Pilot missed his long arm of the law on... Yeah, he popped it. He missed it on Involve when that engagement first started. If he would have picked that up, I think they could have got more off on it. After he... If they were able to kill Involve, possibly push down some towers or get another objective. But I mean, card power wise, it's still pretty even. We are seeing everybody's now back up and alive. We're only 25 minutes into the game. Lanes are not pushing into any towers right now, so it's going to go back down to managing the lanes, managing the Raptors, because Raptors right now are very important.
That's exactly what's happening. Colossal Blow was used to try to provide some heal and actually to split these guys apart. Rutgers is still by himself. He has to make sure he doesn't get engaged on. Crown is there. They need crowd control to secure that. Bum tried to charge forward to land a subjugate, but was a little bit too late. A little bit too late to that, slowed that party, rather. Blood Mortius has the green buff. Went over double pane to ward. For those of you that don't know, double pane has that bleed associated with it. If you use it on wards, it kills a ward instantly. All you have to do is walk to it, double pane. It's going to die, you walk away. Just a little nuance of Grux that you guys can use to your advantage when you're battling out here on Monolith, on Agora, in Paragon. Epic Games is pretty sick at making videos. So, taking a look at the current state, CS is 570 to 480, slightly in favor of Carbon EU. I think that's mostly attributed to the fact that Undead Pilot, with his global presence along with the law, can farm a little bit, has more uptime farming, as opposed to the Twin Blast, who actually has to be at the fight to contribute to it.
But it's 12 kills to 7 in favor of Ratpack. They've definitely been able to take these team fights or in any minor skirmish and engagement and swing it in their favor. We're going to see. I just heard a sticky bomb. Okay, it missed everybody. Bum, it just got caught out there.
They're going to try to
I don't know if he was lazy backing.
Colossal Blow, Strafe is there as well. Containment Fence, there's that long arm of the law that we were looking for. The Containment Fence was used to try to isolate Strafe, so after they were able to take out Severog, they could latch over to Strafe and get more, but weren't able to. Still, picked up Severog. Bum has been a very threatening force, landing these subjugates, and has set up many, many kills and victories in team fights. So with him not on the field for 30 seconds, Carbon, you can have a little bit of breathing room, but they got to make sure they don't lose their Kwang. Aggressive blink forward from Strafe. Unfortunately, he's going to hit that little invisible wall that pokes out in the corner right there. That happens to at least all of us at least once in our lifetime. So, looks like Carbon U's not going to be able to get much down off of this kill, actually.
The big thing is Undead Pilot picked up the kill on Bum. The man that needs the card power and needs the kills, he was able to pick that up with long on the law. The Stasis Bomb is going to miss. Louis is going to... Yo, and Mikey got hit with the knockback. Oh my gosh!
The tether
Shane,
was there.
all the things.
That was beautifully done. The Yo and Mikey blink forward with the rocket, and now Crown is here. He says, I got 2 lives. I'm going to go into 3 people and try to chop them down. The mine is used as Stasis Bomb for the peel, and they're going to be able to get away. So just like that, 2 kills in succession for Carbon EU. Right before that happened, Notch, you're saying, yeah, but it's 12 to 7 now. It's 12 to 9, as well as a 100 CS lead. That's significant. And now meanwhile, Blood Mortius picked up a kill. Well, he gets taken out for his sins. Strafe picks up a kill as well, but these guys continue to go back and forth. But I mean, 100 CS, that's a significant card experience lead. And when you look at the 43 levels of on Undead Pilot to Strafe's 39, 4 card level lead for your carry, man. It's you might be getting kills, but you got to make sure you're getting something off of it. And Ratpack has sort of not been able to get much going on the map since they were able to take out those tier 1 towers. Tier 2 towers still on the field, jump pad still online.
Dying.
You all right, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I think I swallowed a bug. I'm not sure what just happened there. So as of this moment in time, 20 minutes into the game, we're starting to see Undead Pilot. He's picked up his crit bonus with his blast harness and his attack speed. He has an impact hammer. He just went into another impact hammer, so he's sitting at 32. He's got literally all of the crit right now. 32, 52, 68% crit chance is what he's at as of this moment in time. So are we going to see 100% crit build coming out of Undead Pilot?
It's not unheard of. I actually know some.
It's not unheard of. No. I've seen it before.
I
think
actually
that's what we're going to see?
some players actually favor it. They like having that, not having to trade RNGs to rely on their crits. Because there's times where you're like, hey, I'm at 80%, 70% crit, right? And then you go into a team fight and you don't crit once. It's
that's true.
It sort of takes away that liability, not liability, but that sort of potential for you to just not line up those crits. So, but I mean, either way, they're both effective builds in their own rights. Crown is going to try to 1v1 Undead Pilot here. He's got to be careful because he just got moved along into the Murdoch trap. That was pretty sick from Undead Pilot. He's just going to get smashed and grabbed, and I think Crown's going to go down maybe. Is there a long arm of the law? Barely. The bleed isn't enough. The bleed's not enough. Getting away with 56 health. All the mid lane is under a lot of duress here. Crown goes down, so does Rampage. They want this tier 2 tower, but I think they overstayed. They thought they could get in. They simply cannot. Rampage gets taken out as well. No Rampage, no Greystone. Awesome low was interrupted by Blood Mortius' challenge of the Warlord. And now another goes down for Ratpack. Carbon EU are bouncing back hard here. I think more so Ratpack making a series of uncharacteristic mistakes.
I got to give it up to Shadon there, who chased down with the Decker and was what secured that kill onto Crown. Crown was backing. Shadon showed up. I believe he hit the stasis bomb and was able to pick up that kill. They're now going for the Orb Prime here. This is basically an uncontested Orb Prime. There is nothing that Strafe or Involve can do. And now it's time for Ratpack to turtle up. They have to play very smart here because the power spike that just came online for the side of Carbon EU is huge. So we'll see these guys regroup. They picked up the Orb Prime. They picked up a huge advantage with that. And instead of just pushing, because lanes are pushing, they're backing up. They're spending their card power. They're getting full health, full mana, and then they'll go into this engagement healthy and with cooldowns up and able to actually do something. So good defense
as well
on the
as
tier
all
2
their
tower.
point spin, as well as all their point
Yes,
spin.
as well as that card power and actually utilizing the 49 out of 49. Good defense on the tier 2 tower. Good rotation from Sean picking up that kill. And great play in the mid there, picking up those 3 kills and allowing that Orb Prime to be taken.
Black buff on Decker. Game's pretty much over at that point.
GG. I mean, he did pick up a kill on Greystone.
Yeah,
so
So yeah, I love the patience here being displayed. They didn't get Orb Prime and be like and get angsty and be like, oh yeah, let's go win the game. Nope, let's spend our points. We're gonna have a massive advantage here. This is patience to me is a display of confidence. It's very difficult to be patient when you're not confident and your team is confident in yourself. Carbon EU are gonna try to make sure that their confidence is rightfully.
if they pick up a kill here, this is GG. If they pick up a kill, this will be GG. I'm waiting for a stunner of
Bump
Boulder.
charging forward, containment fence is there, and it is just right now Louis. Bump's looking forward, a lot of damage. Oh, the Make It Rain was massive amounts of damage, and Bump gets taken out. That last barrage of Make It Rain just got bursted down. The Severog, the inhibitor goes down as well. Strafe narrowly able to run away. The Long Armor Law used for a Greystone alternate may not necessarily be worth it, but at least Greystone, may not appear to be worth it, but I think will be if they're going to go for the core. That's exactly what they're going to do. Undead Pilot is healthy. This is very, very tense. It's 4v5 with Orb Prime. Blood Mortius is low. Tesla Dome. So much damage going down. 2 down right now. 4. Making 3 for Ratpack. Core's down. And there it is. One big push. Orb Prime with the display of patience. They got the Orb Prime. They backed. They healed up. They knew it was a 5v5 situation. They knew they had the advantage. They felt like they were the better team, and they showed it right there. Again, that was a very, very close game. Carbon EU, though, they're able to take it back in just the final minutes of that. That's the strength of Orb Prime in like in a post 30-minute game situation. You can just win the game with it.
Blood Mortius smash and grab back into the Make It Rain. Really helped a lot there. He pulled Bum back in, and he took that last bombardment. Of course, Louis took a ton of damage as well from the Make It Rain, but really good gameplay coming out of Carbon EU. I think this is the team to win this event, man. They are such a good team. They kind of played the way we saw Ratpack play in the first game. They were a little bit off. They weren't really playing the way we've seen Carbon EU play. And then one engagement, and they turned it on. And they got the confidence they needed. They pick up Orb Prime, and they win the game. So congratulations to Carbon EU. We will see them tomorrow in the semifinals. We will also see Team Oxygen NA in the semifinals. Not sure if the bracket has been updated. But, guys, that was our last match of the day. Shane, I had a blast. Thank you, as always, for co-casting with me. It's been so much fun. Thank you to the people watching and supporting the Matcherino. I love you. That's all I have to say. Shane, get us out of here, buddy.
Speaking of the Matcherino, guys, very recently we added some backer rewards there. So there's some really cool products that you can buy at a discounted price at the Matcherino right now. Peripherals and some other little knickknacks over there that you can pick up, and that will support the prize pool here for the guys that you're seeing putting their heart into this game, putting their heart into these matches to entertain you all and entertain us and allow us to show how good they are, man. The level of skill every single weekend just continues to rise and get better and better and better. But yeah, guys, that's it for today's broadcast. We are going to see you guys tomorrow for the second day. That's going to be the semifinal matches and the finals. So 2 best-of-3s for the semifinals and the additional best-of-3 for the finals as well. Hope to see you guys there right here on this channel. Make sure you follow here. Make sure you also hit up our other social media outlets, Twitter as the official Paragon Competitive League Twitter, and as well as our YouTube. Again, all the previous VODs and feature content will all be featured there. But, I mean, honestly, Notch, I think today's display from these teams and from these players speaks for itself. I have nothing else to say. That's twitch.tv/AnotherNotch. I'm twitch.tv/ITG Shane Lynch. On behalf of everyone involved in the Paragon Competitive League, for the players, for our administrators, and for all of you at home watching, thank you from the bottom of my heart. See you tomorrow at noon right here for the semifinals and the finals of Paragon Competitive League number 3.